Hi and welcome back to Studio Tamera, the mystical paintress. Today we are outside, I don't know if you can hear me, we're outside Plein Air Painting in Michigan. It's 20 degrees out, it is snowing. So I am all geared up in my winter gear. If you don't know what that is, I did a video on what to wear in the wintertime, plein air painting, many layers. You feel like the little kid from Christmas Story. I can't put my arms down. Anyway, so snow has a lot of color in it, a lot of purple and blue. It's not just all white. So I'm gonna do a quick little snow study. Chemical hand warmers are very important. You can drop them in the snow and they still stay hot. Oh yeah, you need them. So oftentimes when you're outside looking for something to paint and you can't find what you want to paint, and you think you're going to do this, you think you're going to do that, and it ends up you change your mind. So we are going to be painting that snowy canal to show you a little bit about snow today. So to begin with, this is to learn how to do snow, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a board that is tinted purple, and we're gonna just take and draw this in. So I'm gonna use like a brown and gray, a little blue because it's wintry, and dilute it down with turp, and we're gonna begin. Here we go. There's our canal, right? Here's our board. I did one of these a little earlier today. First thing you got to do is draw in, well, like what's going to be my subject here. Okay, I want to have a nice dark, and this is going to kind of go like this, right? And then this one in particular gets lost, goes like this, so it's like a snake. So it's like here, and you kind of see it here. On this side, I'm using a little purples just for fun. Okay. Some of that growth, some of those trees over there that you see. I'm not really going to focus much on trying to make this look like a photo or make it look like the canal over here, as much as working on teaching you guys stuff to do for snow. So, all right. So I'm going to make this side darker. Here's the riverbank. Or the canal, or whatever body of water you're doing, and kind of comes in here a little. This is a little dark, right? And this goes like this. All right, so there you've got, now the scary part's done. You've got your basic canal design. That's what we're going to do. Okay. So there's your basic design. I know it doesn't look like much, but that's where we're going to start. The next thing we're going to do As you can see, I have a bunch of snow on my palette. Send a shout out to all those folks plowing for us, huh? Thanks, everyone. Make a nice little lavender gray mix on your palette. Squint and just have fun. Go ahead and put in your far trees. Got some close trees in here too. Some birches and some other great stuff. Alright, so that's going like that. Up here we've got some trees. Okay, we're doing pretty good. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of a blue and white kind of mix. I'm going to put a little color back here, a little color here, just to make it a little frosty. We're just going to build a little bit of frostiness, that's all. A little bit in here. Okay. All right, now, so, snow is not white. It is several different colors. Purple, white, blue, gray. Study it. It even has yellows sometimes. You're gonna need white as your base though. Get a clean brush for the sky. Put some white in there. Paint some white in there. Just stick it in there real quick. Okay. Got some white. We're going to add a little cobalt blue and a little, or you could use cerulean, I guess, if you wanted. You could use a little pink. We're going to just add a little bit of this in. Oh, too much. Too much. So wipe your brush, get a little more white. Yeah, that was too much. Okay. Too much pink. So this is a problem-solving process that all painters go through. So I'm doing this quickly. I don't care a lot about the sky at this time, because my goal for today's painting is to show you guys snow. But we got to create something to paint with snow. So, okay, there's your sky. All right. Under your sky, you've got some nice trees. We're going to push this color a little. We're going to use a little sienna, put a little color in here, a little pink, and sienna. We're just going to put a little color in here for fun. Yeah, now I know why Bob Ross always wanted to paint happy stuff, because why not? Plus it makes the eye, it's kind of exciting to the eye when you see things that are bright and cheery and unexpected. And okay. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that color in here, a little there. Okay, that'll be our tree line. See how easy that is? You just squint, put it in. Okay. Next, I want to real quick just take a little cobalt blue, just a little bit of cobalt blue in over that lavender, and a little bit of dark. So instead of using black, see the snow on our palette here, I like to mix umber and blue to make darks. So then they're dark, but they're not black. So, all right, and then we're just gonna kind of anchor this a little bit by putting in a couple of these, a little bit darker, just so we have something here. Because it, you know, gotta have something. Okay, grab your dark. Okay. Do want to put some trees, you just got a real light, just stick them in there. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm distracting the eye, so we're focused on the snow and the water, and we're not really looking so much over here at this stuff, right? So you can even put a little bit of this in here. Some of that real light could go in here. That's made with like white Naples, or you can use you can use any light color you like. Yeah. So you just start to get a little bit of stuff going on, and then mix a little blue, cobalt cerulean, white blue. Put a little bit alizarin crimson in there. There we go, just a little. And we're just gonna put some of this here. Yeah, I'm almost feeling like we're gonna have this thing end. I really like the idea of distracting the eye, because we don't want our focus to be in the back. We want it up in the front. So, all right, and this side's gonna be darker. You always have one side that's a little darker, and that's okay. It's always good to have one side that's just a little darker than the other. It's got more shadows or whatever. I don't know, is it the way the sun's hitting? We do have some purple tones in here, so if you want to pick up some purple, just be careful, because very quickly purple can overpower something, and we don't want to have a lot of real sharp edges in here anywhere either. So, all right, we've got this kind of dreamy lost world here. Isn't this wonderful? I'm taking that dark burnt umber and cobalt mix, a little bit of purple, and I'm gonna stick a couple trees in here. That's too dark. Pick up a little light. I don't want things so dark that they take attention away, you know, but there are trees here, so they've got to be put in. So we can even just suggest them, but they got to be in there. So that's starting to look better. Starting to get a lot of snow on our palette, folks. Good thing we're working with oil. This is, again, one of the benefits of using oil over acrylic or watercolor. You would not be able to stay out here and paint if you had acrylic or watercolor. You wouldn't even be able to. So not be possible. Right now, I'm just kind of squinting and putting in some shapes and colors that look like they could be there. All right, now we're going to add a little bit of sienna. And orange, light little bit of orange. When you really got to practice your color mixing, it's a lot of fun. And we're gonna just load a little bit of this in here because I see some orange in here. Ugh, too bright. So I'm gonna add gray it down. And it might make it too gray, but we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna add bit in here. Oh, I hear my crows. Now, the reason that I'm putting this in is a very simple reason, because it's there. I don't have to, exaggerate it. I can just suggest it, but these colors are in here, so. And you can use your finger, it's fine. Constantly look and see what looks right, what doesn't, what looks right, what doesn't. Okay. Now, in the snow, underneath, we're gonna add some blues. So I'm gonna mix some blues, cobalt and white. Use a little cerulean in here. And then we're gonna just kind of put a little bit here on the bank. Ooh wee, that's bright. Okay. I wasn't quite expecting it to be that bright, but that's all right. Put a little bit of that in there. A little bit of it down here. Also, this blue picks up with the orange. Nice complement, right? Step here is we are going to put some light blue watered down here in our turf on the edge of our palette knife, and we're going to bring some of this in to the water. The water is frozen, obviously, but it's got to have something underneath it. It can't be just, white, or it won't look right. So that's the side with the shadow over here. So we're gonna just kind of put a little blue in over here. Just showing you guys how to do snow. That's what our goal is today. Now, next, wipe your knife off. You're gonna need a palette knife for this. And you're gonna load one side of it with white, okay? How I usually do that is I take the whole half and I load it like this. Then I wipe it on a clean palette and just get one side, okay? And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna just, a little too much. We're gonna just put some of that here, right onto our painting. Okay, take your palette knife, load it right on, just like you're putting cream cheese on a bagel, right? Just like you're putting frosting on your birthday cakes. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We are filling this canal with snow. I know it does look kind of messy, I agree, but it is, and it's kind of fun sometimes to be messy, so. Okay, there you go. Now, there's your basics. Now you take a clean brush, and you're just gonna feather over it. If everything's white, white doesn't show up, right? Think about that. If everything's white, there's no contrast. So we've got all these great purples and these dark colors here to contrast our white. And often I'll show you how I just use the palette knife. Okay. So I'm going to take the palette knife. I'm just going to feather this down. Feather it down, because all it is snow on my canal. Snow on my canal. This purpley underneath color I really don't want. I don't mind it down there though, that's cool. And wherever you want snow thicker, more white. If snow's closer, it's whiter, usually, or if there's a light there. So there's the illusion very quickly of, you know, a snowy canal. And then you want to put a little snow, of course, on the bank here. And the way you do that, just same kind of thing. Just add in a little snow. Feather it like this. So if you're really struggling and having trouble with this, it's okay. Just practice, 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 and you'll be able to figure it out. It's really not that difficult, but it's fun. Pretend you're frosting the birthday cake, like I said. Now, because of the colors underneath, see how it has depth? And it looks like right here is much closer to you because it's thick. It's thick white. And you can even use your finger. You missed finger painting from when you were a kid? Go ahead, use it. You guys make up the rules. There's nobody telling you what to do. That's my favorite thing about art. You do what brings your spirit joy, and you win. Okay, so see how I'm just kind of playing? Finger paint. Like that. Now it's starting to look like a snowy painting, a little. Still looks like a canal. I know a lot of painters will be freaking out because I'm using my fingers. I don't care. I love using my fingers. Interesting thing is, if a canal is covered with snow, it doesn't have any reflection, which is very unusual to our eye because we're so used to water reflecting. And if the water were wet, it would actually be darker than the sky. Winter's always darker than the sky, the water. So I'm just looking out at the canal and what do I see, and kind of putting it in, trying to make this, you know, believable. This is just a study. It's not a painting that's going to be going into a show or anything like that. So you know, it's just practice. Get out and paint as much as you can. Practice as much as you can. It can do nothing but help you. So, and sometimes you do things and you go, ah, what did I do? I want that dark. Okay, make it dark again. That's fine. So, yeah, see, this is starting to look really good. Now, one way to really make the front look close up, as I said earlier, load one side of the knife and put a really thick hunk of snow right up in the front. There, see how that just brought it way to the front? It's just a glob of white, nothing special. But now don't kill it. Don't touch it and touch it and touch it and touch it. You're gonna get mud if you do that. You don't wanna do that. So, all right, and over here we've got some snow. Snow over here, just a little. The further away it is, the more narrow it'll be. So like if you have a real far line of snow, it would just be a tiny line. I'm using a brush. My paint is starting to freeze. My brushes don't want to move. I'm not using a very good quality brush. I don't use super good quality brushes for plein air painting. I probably should, but I don't, because I go through a lot of them and I tend to scrumble and do things that hurt my brushes. So on this side, I don't want to put this glob there. On this side, I don't really want to bring that much attention in. It's a little darker over here. So I'm just going to put, see, you just take snow. Once you have dark, once you have blue and purple and background, and you put a little white here and there, you have snow. And that's the beautiful thing about, that's the secret. You just put a little here and there and you have snow. It looks believable, like a snowy scene all of a sudden. Because, oh, you know, here's a little branch with some snow on it. Wow, that's cool, right? I mean, and we could go on and on and on. We could make this look like a beautiful, you know, painting. Further away, things are fuzzier. Might be a little snow out here. I think we're gonna put a little snow back here. That was too much. I'm gonna add a little Naples to it right here, just a little, because it's gonna be reflected from that light up there, that color. And I wanna knock that white down. It's too far away to be that bright. I can also take a darker brush I used earlier. Just go over the bottom like that. See, there's all kinds of secrets that we can do. Make it look like, you know, winter wonderland. Put some more branches in there out there. There might be some more trees and stuff growing. Surely there's a lot of stuff going on, but you just suggest a few things. If you overdo it, it'll get too busy and it'll bring it forward. The next thing we want to do, take a little Naples or a little cad yellow light and white and mix it. And we're going to just put a couple little highlights out here in these tree line up here, just to make it happy and interesting. Yeah, we're going to even put a little here, I think. It just gives it more movement and a little more life, especially a dead winter scene like this. So while I am putting a really cool white snow-covered branch, I'm going to mix with some whites and grays, and I'm going to kind of just hang this thing here. While I'm putting this in, I wanted to tell you that I was out today and I was plein air painting. And often, if you have seeds with you in the wild, you can get wild birds to land in your hand, and it is so magical and so wonderful. I'll share some pictures. To make these branches come forward, notice I'm putting a little snow on them and I'm making it a little stronger. So it's a little more pronounced. It's just to bring them forward. Now for some chickadee pictures. Okay, we are gathering quite the snow on our palette. So I don't want to overwork this. I mean, this bothers me a little bit. This tree needs to be a little blurred out because it's just a little too much. But I don't want to overwork this. I want my focus to be more on the lesson of snow. So we're going to now, I'm going to show you guys how to make it snow on your painting. Ready? To do snow. Take a clean brush into turp, get a bunch of white, take the white, turp, white, make it real watery, and then you just flick it on your painting all over, and voila, you have a snowy, wintry painting. You might want a little more snow here or there. You might want to edit the tops of some of your trees. But if you like my videos, please hit like and subscribe. It's free. And thank you to all my Patreon followers. I think this little snow lesson was a lot of fun. We used some palette knife and some flinging. The only thing is now you have dirty fingers and you got to go wash your hands. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and post your paintings below.